So hello everybody. This is Zach Ringelstein. I and Leah are co-founders of UClass, and we are a global lesson exchange where teachers can share their resources and where they can make $1 for every time someone downloads it, or where you can find the highest quality resources made by teachers across the US and around the world. And so we'd like to begin. It looks like there are only a couple people on the chat. Maybe it's just Judy and Steve and Nikki. So we'd love it if you are there for you to place a dot where you are in the world and show us so that we can get to know you a little bit better. I'm going to place a dot where we are, which is in California. You're supposed to choose the pencil, which I wasn't doing. Oh no, I'm just drawing. So I'm around. That's a little too high, but I didn't want to overlap. But I'm down there. So it looks like we've got someone in. Maybe it's Judy who is coming up from the Midwest and Berkeley, California. Okay,
so we're neighbors, Judy.
Nikki's in Minnesota. Okay, awesome. So Judy, maybe we can meet you because we live like 15 minutes away from Berkeley. If you want to join via mic, that is completely okay. Judy, if you want to join and talk, we would love to have that since it's such a small group right now. Evelyn as well. If you prefer not, you can just type it in there, or if you don't have the capabilities. Okay, great. That sounds good. So it looks like we've got someone from Berkeley. We also have someone, we have Evelyn who's joined, and if you want to point where you're coming from, that would be great as well. And if you want to just type into the box. Oh, Boston. Great. I'm from New Hampshire.
I'm from Maine. East Coaster.
We're New Englanders originally. So what would be great if you could do is just tell us what you'd like to get out of this session by just typing in the box as well. Why you decided to join us today and what you hope to get out of it before we begin. Great. And that's so Evelyn has said ideas for high school homeschoolers, bright and creative. That sounds great. And let's see, if anyone else wants to type in there, that would be great as well. But otherwise, we're just going to get started on the presentation and just share with you about our experience as teachers in education here in the US and abroad, and how we've come to create a platform that allows teachers to share lessons. So I am going to click to the next slide. I think this one shows that the slides are loaded, and Leah and I are the founders of UClass, and it's a new platform that connects classrooms across the world and enables teachers to find assignments and lessons created by other teachers around the world.
This can be particularly exciting, I think, for homeschoolers because you can have access to the ideas not only of other teachers, but your students and children can also connect with each other through this platform.
Yep. And so this year we're already in 86 countries, and we've seen thousands of students connecting around ideas that teachers from across the world have developed. So I'm just going to take you through the background. This is me as an exhausted teacher in Phoenix, Arizona when I was teaching there. And I would work hard day in and day out to ensure that my students got the very best outcomes that they could get. But as all of you know who are teachers both in and outside of the classroom, at 5 p.m. I had hours and hours of planning left to do, and so I would try and spend the majority of my days interacting with my students and being there for them, but I recognized that at 5 p.m. I just didn't really have it in me to create the best lesson plans for others. And this is actually is actually not a unique problem. The average teacher in the U.S. spends 150 minutes planning a day. And with 30 million teachers in the world, it's 75 million hours of planning every day. And so the question that we were asking ourselves is, why would millions of teachers create the same lesson over and over and over and over again without sharing? Why is that the case? And so what we realize is that that's extremely inefficient and that that's a big waste of time. So the problem that we're trying to solve with UClass is that teachers don't have a way to efficiently share high-quality resources. And so for all of you out there who are looking for resources, we wondered this question: what if those resources could be gathered, if they could be shared, and they could be crowdsourced by teachers around the world? And so now they can actually on UClass. So on UClass, you can go on, you can find the right assignment. You can search by Common Core standard, by keyword, or by whatever you're looking for. You can then, on the platform assign it to your students right there and then your students, you can give feedback to your students after they upload it, or your students are able to connect with other students around the world around that same assignment.
So if you're educating from your home or in a homeschool community, this is a great opportunity for your students to gather, to learn with their global peers and to gather ideas for similar assignments with kids who come from different perspectives than they do.
So we'll show you how that works, and we're doing it with radical simplicity. So maybe you want to give me like a thumbs up or a
smiley
face if you like Pinterest, because I certainly do, and we have it. We've actually been able to create an interface that looks a lot like it, and it's very easy to use. What you can do here on our platform is you can search by keyword, or you can search by. Oh, I got a smiley face. Thank you, Evelyn. And maybe does anyone else do it? Okay. Thank you. And so you can search by keyword, you can search by subject, grade level, and Common Core standard. And what you can do is, if you're looking, for example, like an Angles lesson, or you're looking for an algebra lesson, you'd be able. So I'm here, I'm looking for Angles lesson. I can click into this lesson, and what I can see in here is all the pieces of a lesson. I can see an outcome, I'm able to see the steps of a lesson. I then get a lesson plan, a worksheet, and a media link, and usually it comes with an assessment. And what I can do on the platform is I can actually immediately assign it to my students on the platform, so that then they receive it when they log into their own accounts, and they're able to pass it in. And excitingly, these students are not just connecting with you, their teacher, or whoever is in charge at the moment. They're actually connecting with other students if you want to open that gateway on our platform, because this student who passed in the Angles lesson is interacting with Varun from India, from Javier from Mexico, and Jeremiah, who's actually from another class. This is a real example. And they did this assignment all together as actually a global community who have done, because all of their teachers have assigned them the same thing. Do you want to add on to that?
Yeah, it's just amazing. I used this in my classroom, in my third grade classroom in the Bronx this year, and it was amazing to see my students' global perspectives really elevated by working together with kids that they had never met. They felt like they had a really wonderful platform to present their own ideas, so that was really validating, and then a really great place to be challenged by other kids who are coming from different spaces. So as an educator, I find myself really inspired by the ideas that other educators present on this platform, and I have watched my students encounter the same kind of inspiration.
Absolutely. And so I saw a question there, which I think it came from Evelyn. And Evelyn asked, are there homeschoolers? There are lots of homeschoolers on our platform, and that number is quickly growing. And it does provide, just go to, you can either Google UClass, UClass, for someone who just wrote in there, or you can just go to uclass.org. UClass.org, and so what we're seeing is that there's this enormous community of educators throughout the world who are either maybe coming from small towns or are not connecting in average school systems, and because of UClass are able to get those connections and find resources when they otherwise wouldn't. And you'll see on our platform that there are actually two tabs. One is the community tab, and then the other one is the lessons tab. And you'll be able to either see lessons that other teachers have created or actually engage with the community, saying, hey, I'm someone I think posted yesterday, I'm reading Kite Runner with my 9th grade students. Does anyone else want to do it with me? And that was, I believe, a British classroom. And so someone in the U.S. or someone in India can then respond and say, hey, I want to do this with you. Let's find ways to connect. Let's do it. And then they can do it through our platform.
There's also a direct pen pal messaging feature on the platform, and I've been working closely with a few homeschool parents who are really interested in using it for that feature so that their children can create a more direct relationship around projects that they facilitate with other students.
So I'm going to keep moving forward so you can understand the whole platform. So really we believe that there needs to be a song to the dance. So if you go on a dance floor and there's no music, maybe it would be hard to figure out how to dance with another person. And that's what we figured out this year, that sometimes global collaboration is done without the music, and the music is content. And so what we've done on our platform is create this lesson plan marketplace where teachers can essentially share their lessons, and you share with a lesson plan, and then you can add a worksheet, an assessment, and media. And every time your lesson gets used, you actually make $1. So because I was the 1,000th person to use this Angles lesson, this teacher made $1,000, and for a lot of people, that's a really, really happy teacher. I know myself, I felt rather undercompensated in my job. So if any of you are excellent lesson planners, we would love to talk with you, because we actually are hosting a community. We're paying 50 teachers to put 2,000 lessons up on our site, and we actually just selected these 50 teachers, but we're looking for more, and would love to talk with you if you're at all interested. So that's one other piece to this site. So I think that begs the question, is the site free? The answer to that question is yes. So you go on and you're able to access every resource, see every resource. If you want to download it, and you want extra, you're able to pay $1.99 per lesson to download it. But you still have access to all of the ideas. You can still actually assign it to your students on the platform, and your students are able to connect to the global community. The only payment is for when you want to download it and get the full resources. So I'm going to move on to the next slide, which is that teachers are buying assignments, or as we call them now, lessons, and we're actually in over 1,000 schools. So just to put it into perspective, teachers can buy them individually, or we've sold packages to schools who are excited about this as well. And like I just mentioned, we're in 1,000 schools, and that's across 86 countries. And you can see we launched last year in the fall, and we actually just ran a pilot, but our numbers have been increasing since. So this is actually a little bit of an old graph, but our numbers have actually grown, skyrocketed this summer, and that's a really exciting thing for us. So, and then you may be curious as to how it works on the site. So like I was saying before, if you want to download lessons and get the full resources, you get 2 lessons for free. And then after that, if you want to get the full lesson, you can do one of 3 things to get them. You can either invite other teachers, purchase a subscription, or create an assignment. And what that's doing is it's getting us more teachers, it's getting us some money so we can build out our platform, but it's also getting us the highest quality content in the industry, because teachers are incentivized to put up high quality work because they're getting paid for it. And that's one of the big things that separates us from other resource sites. And if you're curious about us, this is who we are. All 4 of us are teachers, and some people love Teacher America, some people have qualms with it, whatever the case is. We come from these institutions, and we are partners with the Asia Society. We're working closely with Fulbright. We're working very closely with public school systems throughout the United States, and we're proud to say that we have a lot of homeschool partnerships, as well as a big homeschool community on our site. we want to be as inclusive as possible, and so we really are ensuring that we don't just reach private and international schools, that we're in low-income public Title I schools, as well as that we're in communities that oftentimes don't get, I guess, as many shout-outs or as many resources. And so this is our goal, and the four of us have all taught in various places. Between the four of us, we've taught in public, charter, international, and in other international rural school programs across the world.
And to stay connected to our goal, 12 of our 50 hired teachers that help to support our content and product development are advisors to our product. So we have independent school, private school, charter school. We have all those homeschool representatives on our board, also informing the directions that we develop our product in. Yeah,
so we're really rooted in the teacher community. That's like it's the basis of this. It's made by teachers. We are teachers first and foremost, and that's why we're doing this. And then finally, this is actually me with two of my students. And when I think about UClass and why this all matters, I think about something that a teacher recently said to me. A teacher said to me, so I don't consider myself an excellent teacher, but I know I have great teaching moments. And it's just a pity that those teaching moments are not being shared with the school down the road or even the classroom down the hall. And so the idea of UClass is to put all of your great teaching moments, your excellent moments on there so that all teachers can have those resources so that our students, my students here who just graduated their 8th grade graduation a few weeks ago, so that my students can actually have the outcomes that they deserve and so that they can have the best education that the world can offer them. And so that's why we're doing this, and we look forward to your questions about our resource exchange as well as our global connections on UClass and how we can better benefit what you do for your students or for your children.
I see a question coming up right now, which is that how can I apply to create content? I just put up my email, so you can just email us if you'd like to be a special content creator, and we could consider that partnership. And also anyone is able to, any teacher or homeschool teacher is able to just log right onto UClass and create a profile, and you can upload your lessons directly and be a part of that marketplace without going through us. So you can choose either one of those channels to help us create great content. I'm going to put my email up one more time, and Zach's is right on the screen. So if you want to talk about being part of our teacher board, just contact us.
Yeah. And so anybody can upload their resources. It just so happens that the ones that are used the most are the ones that get promoted to the top. So when you search, you're not having to sift through maybe the less quality things that people haven't chosen to use or that haven't been rated as highly. And then also, I think it's important to note that just like I said earlier, that if you want to go on and sign up right now, the platform is entirely free, and you can browse and look through it and enjoy a global community of connections immediately.
Yeah.
So.
And it's really exciting to see you all here in this session, because really this tool is created for you so that you have a voice to share your great ideas and to collaborate. So the people that use it are the ones that are truly creating this space. We're just trying to make sure that the interface is as friendly and as usable as possible. So we're happy to have you. If you have any more questions, you can type them in.
It's funny because I feel like this is how education shouldn't be, with us talking
yeah.
and not being able to see your faces. But our platform is seeking to make it very collaborative. But we would love your questions and to hear your voices and see what your thoughts are. One other thought while questions are coming in is that we're really looking for a lot of STEM teachers. Particularly in math right now, to join our teacher board. So if any of you are math gurus, that's one of our big needs right now, and so we'd love to hear from you. So, are there any teachers or any questions, not teachers, I know you're teachers, from Nancy, Judy, or Evelyn about this, or how we can be supportive of you. Great, welcome Bernard, we're happy to see you. So while we're here, and I can tell that clearly there aren't a whole lot of questions, I think that it would be important for us to share just a little bit about our philosophy of why we decided to create UClass, and ways that, maybe some examples of the ways that like our lessons have inspired children and teachers already. Mm-hmm. So do you want to start with telling about why and how we created UClass?
From the very beginning?
Sure.
Okay, well, we taught internationally, and we had also taught in underserved communities in America, and through this process we recognized that when students are exposed to kids coming from diverse experiences, that their education spirals upward. So teaching abroad in Tanzania, actually in an international school where we had multiple countries and backgrounds represented in one classroom, we witnessed the kind of diverse learning that we believe all children deserve. So we created this platform so that both kids and adults can be inspired by encountering people who come from different places. And I have witnessed that in my own classroom as kids rallied around issues. For example, last year we had a couple kids design their own service projects in response to natural disasters that they felt really compelled to fundraise towards and create their own service projects around. So it's really cool to see kids become activists because of their exposure to other cultures on this platform.
Some of the exciting projects and lessons that have been shared on UClass that our global community has participated in. One was last year there were several elections, including here in the U.S., but also internationally, and students actually wrote letters to their elected officials about what they would change, but then they shared them on UClass, and then kids were able to give each other feedback on the letters and see what their what national politics were like in other countries as well as across the U.S. Another great lesson was the Where We're From project. Actually, SchoolTube worked with some teachers on our site to get students to create videos about where they are from. And so what they did was they shared, so like a kid in Philadelphia made a video of him eating a Philly cheesesteak and then showed pictures of the Philadelphia skyline, while a child in India shared about his slum community and about like the different foods that he eats. And then kids in Norway were sharing about what it's like to be in Scandinavia and how light differs throughout the seasons. And so anyway, this was happening across the world, and these videos were really, really powerful, and we actually that was actually our most successful lesson so far on our platform. Another one was the Earth Day project. We did a UClass talent show where kids across the world shared their talent. And the one that we're doing for back to school it's called the Back to School lesson, and we're releasing it next week. And what it is students are going to share their goals for this year with each other across our network, as children across most of the world go back to school, not all of the world. Does anyone want to type in a question? Does anyone have anything that they want to share, or either about what you're doing, because we'd love to hear about what you're doing, or have a question for us about UClass? I'll type in uclass.org, and then I'll type in, just in case you want to go check it out, it's free, and then I'll type in just the question, which is, do you have any burning questions for us? Do you have anything at all you want to And then Judy and Evelyn, I believe you said that you wanted to help us put up lessons. We're looking forward to being in touch with you. Because we're not getting anything through the wires, maybe there's a technological problem, or maybe we've just been able to explain it all, which I doubt. But then Leah, do you have anything else that you want to share?
I just would feel really excited. Oh, absolutely. Judy just said I've worked mostly with special ed. Does that work? I'm also a special educator, Judy, and I found that this is a great platform for a lot of my students who are diverse learners, and we've been able to find projects that really suit their needs. And we also really need more special education perspectives in our lesson creators. I think people who are really good at differentiating and playing to multiple intelligences. So I found my own students found the platform very accessible, and because they can express themselves through writing or video and multimedia projects, everybody had their own way to be heard, which is really important for kids with special needs. And we also, I personally feel like developing more differentiated and special ed directed lessons would be a really great addition to our team as teacher creators. Yeah,
and then there was a question there, which is, can students identify themselves? And so this is, maybe you've heard of the law COPPA. So there are certain restrictions for kids who are 13 years and younger, and basically, or under 13 years, and basically on our site we ask that you use students' first names or a pseudonym, and that you don't identify with last name. And we also have, if you read through our terms and privacy policy, students are able to have authentic conversations and make relationships, but of course in public forums have to be careful about just saying too much. However, there is authentication that for teachers as they open the site to students, so that we have only teachers who are truly working with students, whether that be in a homeschool community or that be in a school system. And then students actually aren't able to create their own accounts. Teachers create it for them and then give them a passcode. And there, Evelyn said that it's just nice for homeschoolers to meet one another, and that's actually something that you can help us continue the momentum on, which is getting a broader homeschool community connecting on our platform. So you'll see on our platform that you could create either lessons that are designed to connect homeschool classrooms, or you could put up a post on the community board saying, hey, I am interested in connecting what other homeschoolers are out there, or what other classrooms are out there who want to do something similar as me, whether that means you want to do it with homeschool classrooms in particular or otherwise. And so those are some ideas. Do you have any other ideas? I appreciate the contact information that's coming through. It sounds like we could have some really full conversations directly with you. So if you want to just pop your email in there, we'll follow up with you, and then we can have more specific conversations about these issues. Evelyn, so it looks like I got Judy's email here. Evelyn, would you mind, we would love to get yours. If you either email it to us or if you don't feel comfortable putting it here, you could direct message us on Twitter. Our Twitter, by the way, oh, there you go, it's there. Our Twitter, by the way, is uclass.org, just like that. And we like to keep a presence, and we host Twitter chats from time to time. You may be aware that, or you may want to be aware that on September 9th, we're doing a huge launch. For 3 weeks, you're going to be able to get, if you buy one lesson, you'll be able to get 2 lessons free on our site. And it's like the back-to-school special. And we're really excited about it because that's when we actually onboard the majority of our lessons that have been built from the Common Core standards up. And so that's an exciting moment for us as well. Yeah. I think that our session time is actually up, but we're so thrilled that you guys showed up, and it feels really great to be connecting with the homeschool population. We've done a lot of talking and thinking about how to continue to involve you guys. So we're happy that you came. Yeah, and something else is just that because Leah and I have not taught homeschool, that we would love more, like we said earlier, more people advising us on how to make our platform more homeschool friendly. So anything that, any bit you can offer, or if we can get a lead homeschool teacher on our board, I think that would actually truly benefit our cause and help make our platform more beneficial to you. So it's a privilege to meet you all. Hope that someday I'll meet you in person.
Yes.
And have a wonderful rest of your Friday, and have a wonderful weekend. We hope you enjoy the sun or wherever you are in the world. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.